Yeah, I think that's going to be way out there and pretty straight too. On that swing, I utilized one simple trick. I always hate to say trick, but hey, it's not clickbait. I really think what I'm going to show you, this simple tip, is going to help a lot of golfers get a little more distance. So if you need more distance, stay tuned. Hey, so me coming up on 50 years old, I really don't want to see my drive distance diminish any more than it has to because of my age. Hey, I'm Steve Pratt from HitItLonger.com. I'm on a journey to hit longer and straighter tee shots. If you are too, then come along. Maybe you'll consider after this hitting the subscribe button and getting a notification of all my future videos. So this simple tip I'm going to show you it's going to be very controversial, I think, and it's going to get a lot of comments down below on how oh, that move is dangerous, might be good for slicers, but it's going to might make you a little bit longer, it's going to make you very crooked. Well, I'm not crooked at all, and I think there's been a lot of confusion over this motion, a lot of myth and mythology around the motion I'm going to show you, and it's really simple. It's just a motion that I would call a flap. So all I'm going to do is I'm coming into the impact zone. All I'm doing is flapping my wrist this way, just flapping. So I'm going from here as I come into the ball, and I'm flapping. The right wrist will be flapping too. You might also say it's slapping, as if I'm going to slap someone in the face, or if you don't want to be that violent, you might say I'm going to slam a door. I am looking for super duper supple freedom. I'm looking to turn that flap motion into the quickest possible whip that I can. Essentially, the wrist is just responding to the forward motion of the forearm like that. It's a very blinding, as if you're going to crack a towel, you could say. Now let's look at the effect on the club face that this has. It's not a flip. See, there's a flap and then there's a flip. Here's a flip. If I'm just flipping the toe, my wrist this way, and I'm rotating in a flip, I'm rotating the shaft around itself. What I'm showing you is I'm not rotating the shaft at all around itself. I'm just simply using the flap of the wrist to advance the club and therefore speed it up to a greater extent. I'm looking for maximum acceleration. So interestingly, when I met my mentor, Mike Austin, was in the Guinness Book for the longest drive in a professional golf tournament, a stroke play golf tournament at 515 yards. And the first time I met him at Studio City Golf Course, maybe you've been there, maybe you've met him, the first thing he showed me was this motion. He directed it right towards my chest. He stood up next to me with his icy steel blue eyes, very big man, and he brought it right up against my sternum like this, and I was terrified that he was going to hurt me. It was a very scary moment. And then he proceeded with this motion, all the different bones in my body that he could break just by allowing this to be free and accelerating to a whipping velocity. He said, I could break your sternum, I could break your clavicle, I could break your radius, your ulna. He said I could even break your damn humerus if I wanted to. That's pretty scary because that's a pretty thick bone just from doing this as hard as he could. So he was a big man. He swung 150 or more miles per hour, we now know. Pretty crazy club head speed for someone using a 43.5-inch shaft. There's going to be the detractors out there who are going to downvote this. That's too bad. Probably better players, and they're going to argue no great ball striker ever did this. But I'm telling you, they all did. Even Hogan, who in the pictures looked like his wrist bone was raised like this. Look at him after impact, and you're going to see that he has done the flap. Find a slow motion video of him and stop it right about here, and you'll see that his wrist has flapped. He wouldn't have been able to hit the ball out there to a competitive distance if he didn't. Jack Nicklaus used to say, I always would throw the club from the top of the swing, and as long as I wasn't moving, as long as I was moving to my left side, I could never throw it too early. So this brings me into another point that any detractors of this move might make, is that it's a flip because I might end up looking like this at impact. Well, that's only possible if I hang back, and I'm not going to do that. So I will be shifting and turning as I'm flapping, and that's all going to give me the absolute correct forward lean on all my iron shots and wedges. I'm going to hit them the proper trajectory. I'm going to control the distance on them, and I'm going to have a solid, crisp divot in front of them and a good strike. Because see, I'm timing that flap by putting the pivot just slightly out in front of it. So it's here. And this would be like a wedge, got my forward lean, flap. So give that flap a try. I think some of you've been under the impression that you're not supposed to use your wrists. You're either supposed to hold on to them as long as you can, or through impact, you're supposed to hold the wrist angle static, which is horrible advice. It's not going to make you hit the ball any straighter, and it's certainly going to take away all your distance. If you enjoyed the video, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Thanks again to Golf Development Complex here in Moore Park, California. I hope to see you in another video, and if not, maybe I'll see you in person, longer and straighter down the fairway.